We'll see. Hello, anti-society. Hello. How is everyone? I'm tired. But that's okay because I'm sure Bleach will wake me up in some capacity. I'm sure that something's about to go down. So we got all those fights happening. We're gonna see Renji's fight, for the first time because you haven't seen him fight since he showed up. Not really. We sort of saw him fight, I guess, in the Forest of Menos and stuff, but we haven't seen him like fight in like Las Noches yet. Everyone else has had their fight. Except like I guess Ruki is like in the middle of hers, but we're gonna see pink-haired Espada. We're hopefully gonna see what happens with Rukia because I really want to know how that fight's gonna go. We just kind of left it for like 3, 4 episodes. I'm worried about my boy. I'm worried about Sado. I'm worried about Sado. I need to know that he's okay. Hello, the one Brad. Hello, Grammy. Hello. We're gonna get some real fights in this one, aren't we? I'm like excited. I also like remembered that there's like what, 7 episodes left? 8 episodes left in this like arc, and then there's like a filler arc. So I'm assuming the next like part, like the rest of the episodes of this arc are gonna be intense. So I don't know how intense. I don't know intense in what way. I'm assuming fights, but I'll be interested to kind of see like who the like last fight is. Yeah, episode 167 is the last one, right? And then there's like a filler arc, and it comes back in like 190 something. I should know this. I've written it down multiple times, and yet I can't remember. I mean, I also had it the other day when I was filming the last Ergo Proxy reaction I did. I just automatically said that it was like episode 114, and then I was like, nope, this isn't Bleach. There aren't hundreds of episodes. So that's why I write everything down. I have a calendar so I don't have to remember things off the top of my head. But I'm assuming that something big is gonna happen between now and episode 167. And I don't really know what that's gonna be. I'm assuming it's something to do with Ichigo having to fight someone. But I don't really know who that would be. I feel like the only, like, because we haven't met all of the Espada yet, which we discussed last reaction. That we haven't, I haven't met them all yet. And so, like, it could be that there's just, like, he'll have to fight an Espada that I haven't been introduced to fully yet. But I also feel like we're gonna have to fight Ulquiorra at some point. I feel like he's the most hype. I feel like Ulquiorra is like the fight that everybody is waiting for, other than like Aizen, um, because he's like one of the first Arrancar that we got introduced to, and nobody's really fought him yet. Like Urahara briefly kind of did, but not really. So I don't know if that's what is gonna happen at the end of this arc, or if that's just something I'm gonna have to wait until later. But I think like that's kind of like the only hype event I can kind of think of besides fighting like Aizen and Gin and Tosen and stuff. Because I'm assuming that's gonna be like last couple of arcs kind of thing. Hello, Inkling. Hello. So I know that's like a super ahead, like that's episodes from now, but I feel like that's the next sort of thing. I also don't feel good about like Ichigo and friends winning this fight. So I'm hoping that there'll be some kind of like backup that shows up. Somebody. Like either one of their friends that's like not technically Soul Society or a Soul Society friend. I mean, like where's Toshiro at? Where's like Ikage? I'm just saying. I'd like to see some friends show up and give a helping hand. Oscar. I love the derp faces. They are so, I love them. And I see now you guys know too that like you taking joy in me like making derp faces during the live stream. That's what I used to always laugh at when I was editing videos. I would edit videos and I would crack myself up because I would just make the weirdest faces every time I like would make a cut or something. I just had the funniest facial expression. Or like in the program I use, there's like a little window that has like a picture from like the first couple of seconds of the video when I upload it, and I always have the craziest looking face, and it's just the preview for like all of the clips for the whole video. It's just this little like derp face that I'm making in like the first couple of seconds of all of my recordings. It's hilarious. I love it. SSS, you changed your name, by the way, which like freaks me out a little bit. But there has to be, I mean, I know they're not expecting backup, but you can't tell me that no one is trying to come up with a plan to come and bail them out a little bit. I don't believe it. I don't believe that like they would just like they would know that something was happening and they wouldn't want to be a part of it. Like I feel like Toshiro would want to be a part of it because he wants to know what's going on. Like he wants to know Aizen's plans. He wants to know like how strong Aizen's forces are, like how many Arrancar are there, how many Espada are there. Like I feel like the curiosity and like the way that he comes up with like plans and stuff would get in the way of that. And I also feel like he's really mad at Aizen, because of like the way that he treated Momo. So like I feel like he would want to be a part of it just from that side of things. But also like you can't tell me that like squad 11, right? That's Kenpachi's squad like knows that there are a bunch of really strong enemies somewhere and they're just like I guess we got to wait and follow the rules. Like you're telling me like Ikagu like knows that there's like a really strong fighter out there and that Ichigo is gonna go fight them and he's just like not gonna try and be part of that? I don't believe it. Oh, fair enough. Changing your name because of business emails? Fair enough. I had that with my Discord. I used to have like a different username on Discord and I had to change it. Obviously my nickname in like my server is Auntie, but I had to change my overall one because I was starting to have like business related calls through Discord and I was like, ooh, I need to change my username that I came up with when I was like 17. Hi Javi. Yeah, you're not late today. Welcome. Bankaya. I would love to see Ikugo again, just in general. my nickname was Top Hates Twinkle Toes? Not true. It was about Toph though. Oh, you're gonna have to leave soon, Javi? That's okay. We're gonna watch episode 160 though. Now that people have come forth to join us. Blur. Hi, Blur. So, episode 160, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with. I don't even know. Like, we have. We have Arenji's fight that was sort of starting. We have Rukia's fight that's been kind of on the back burner for a little while. We have uh Sado, who like I guess his fight is done, but also like he didn't it didn't really start either because it was like he tried to punch him and then got hurt and he tried to get back up. There's a lot of fights happening and I don't really know how to feel. I know like we had Ichigo and Nell that were like trying to get to Sado. I remember that too. That they were like running because he could like sense what was happening. And Ishida, the same thing. They could kind of sense it and they were trying to find their way out of the like inside of Las Noches so they could help him. Or I guess it's still in Las Noches, but it's like they're in the buildings as opposed to outside. Anyway, let's watch episode 160 in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, you think it's Rukia's next? I kind of hope so, because we left that fight for a while, and I'm worried about it. I should probably get Totoro. Hold up. I'm just gonna keep him in my lap. So that, you know, just in case I need the support. I'm probably gonna need the support, but see, there's a bunch of the spot I still don't know. There's the guy with the long hair. There's the guy with the like, I don't know. He kind of looks like he's like a crown thing going on. Watch them use the same scene again of Aranero. I mean, they put a few different clips in last time we saw it. Yes. The chaos of their Arrancar friends. And my boy having the coolest attack. Like punching someone so hard that there's a skull imprinted on the wall. But then that. Which of course they're gonna make me live through again. Because why wouldn't they? They always choose the part that's gonna get me in my heart. My heartbeat is already like going faster. Oh, I remember this too. Hime, Gutsy. Yes, this we've seen a few times. I'm worried about this though because didn't he say like he's taken like a power from like a bunch of different hollows and so it'll be like thousands of them that she has to fight at once, which is a lot to ask of her. Still such a unsettling release, like transformation. Yeah. This part where I was like, yeah, it was like over 33,000 hollows. That's a lot. Yeah, it'd be like fighting an army like by yourself. An army of hollows on her own after she's already been like beat up a little bit. Like, I don't know if I like the cackling and crazy eyes. It's not the end. You gotta believe in yourself. If you already think that you're gonna lose, then you will. Don't like that I have to live through that a bunch of times either. Just breaks my heart. No, you can't give up. You gotta keep fighting. Girl, Rukia. No! No! Ooh. I was gonna say, I was assuming this was a flashback, but it almost feels like, I don't know. presume it's a memory of some kind. And like it almost feels like the way that she's acting that it's like present Arukia in a past time, which we saw a little bit of when we saw her like first fighting against Eren Eru. Is like she had they looked like they were somewhere else briefly during the fight. So it's almost like there's like psychological weirdness happening. I don't know if it's like that your life flashes before your eyes thing. An ordinary yelling. Did he always have a marking on his left arm? I can't remember. Because he definitely has a marking now. There. Did he always have that and I just didn't notice it? Or remember it? I only think of it now because he has the his left arm with Eren Eru like is the one that like sucks the power out of people. So careful. It is a sword. Yeah, that's what I just said. Looks like I lost my connection for a little while. That was pretty good. Wow. That's okay. Average is fine. I know maybe you don't feel that way because you have to like live up to the whole like family name thing, but you know, average is totally fine. I mean, it's just like everybody else. So is this like the real reason behind the flashback? Is her like remembering what she's fighting for on like a deeper level than just like I want to help my friend? I was gonna say something like that too. I'm like, I thought it'd be something a little bit more profound. Interesting idea, actually. Like I guess it's difficult to have compassion if you don't have anyone around to like be compassionate for. I was gonna say the heart goes to the people who cared about you, right? Which is exactly what she's sort of doing at the moment. Come on, Rukia. Remember why you're fighting. Remember your friends. Ooh. Come on, girl. She's gonna have to get a little creative because her Zanpakuto is broken. But she said she was never the best at swordplay, so. Oh, dang. Okay, that was pretty cool. True. Ooh. Look at her go. Going straight for the head. I love that she used the ice to like reform the blade. That was so cool. Hi, Victor. I don't know if he'll help you. Is the other half? Oh, okay, I was gonna say if he was actually destroyed or not. Dang. Ugh. What about Seto? Oh, it's everyone. I was like, we're gonna see all of her friends. And Byakuya. Ichigo's probably freaking out because he could probably sense like Sado and his like spear pressure going down, but he can also probably sense Rukia and like her getting weakened, and he's probably like running so fast right now trying to get to them. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I'm like, you might need to take like five, though. Especially since they don't have Orihime with them, so they can't heal as well. I guess they have Nell with her healing spit or drool, but it only like somewhat heals people, right? It doesn't completely heal people, so um it would be it only like partially heal them as opposed to like what Orihime is capable of, which is like turning back time so she can like get them back to what they were previously, their previous condition, like before the fight. So I'm worried about how they're gonna heal before they have to fight the next person. Uh, if I could choose one or two anime to cross over with Bleach, what would it be? Um, I think Hunter x Hunter would be cool. I think there would be some cool matchups if that was a thing. Um, I don't know what else I would cross over with. Are we gonna meet the other ones? Finally? Are we gonna kind of get to see some of the other Espada? I mean, that would be a good way to make money, I think. That was, I mean, kind of sweet. Mostly. It was mostly a sweet episode of like kind of establishing like what Rukia's like motivation is and like kind of talking about it's like kind of talking more in depth about like why kind to her like other than just being like a mentor and like being one of the few people who like treated her as an equal and an individual as opposed to someone who was part of her specific family. And then there's like there's like pointing out that he like shaped the way that like her belief system about like why she fights and like shaped part of how she sees the world and stuff, which is like a far more impactful thing to do to somebody is to like have that kind of internal shift in the way that you think about things. So it kind of puts into perspective like why the whole story with Cayenne is like such an important part of like who she is currently as a person. But I'm also not gonna lie, I thought the fight would be longer between her and Ed and Eru. I thought there'd be more to it than there ended up being. I thought it was cool though that she rebuilt the blade but with the ice and because of that she was kind of able to have like a sneak attack. Um but I just felt like what she got like hit once and then she got speared and then she fought back and it was over. I was hoping that since we had to wait a bunch of episodes and it was like all this hype of him being like, I've absorbed the power of like 33,000 something hollows, that there would be a little bit more of an epic scope to that fight. But we got rid of the Espada, so that's good. I felt like it focused more on like her character than anything else. I don't know. Maybe I'm being picky. Maybe I'm just like in that shonen anime mindset where I'm like, should be a cool fight, which isn't everything. But I just feel like if we were going to like fight and actually win against an Espada, that it would be a little bit more epic. But yeah, I agree. SSS that it was like it was more about like like the fight itself was about Rukia of like developing as a character as opposed to the fight itself. So it wasn't so much like, hey, let's have like a really cool fight scene, have lots of action be in it, show off the skill set of both of the characters, and it was more about like put how do we like make or show the framework of like how Rukia thinks about her job as a Soul Reaper and like the impact of like that mindset on how she interacts with people and like how people affect her. Ramiro, Ereneru literally got a brain freeze. I mean, at least like one brain freeze. There's still the other one, I guess. Does the other head, spirit, essence that was in him Is it gonna live even after she killed one of them or chopped up one of them? I never know if like death is the right way to describe what happens in Bleach because spirits are a thing and reincarnation is a thing and like hollows don't like really die. They just like finally get to pass on to like the proper afterlife where they get to be reborn and stuff. So like they're not destroyed, that's the point of Soul Reapers. So I assume, yeah, Machiavelli, that the fights are gonna get more epic as we move on. Yeah, like I felt like we spent a lot of time um in flashback and some of it we'd seen before and I felt like there could have been a way to kind of balance out the flashback and the fight a little bit more as opposed to spending it like it was mostly a flashback episode and then like there was like a little bit of fighting that kind of bookended it. So I would have liked a little bit more kind of going on with that. But if only just to see because it doesn't feel as satisfying with Urukia winning that fight because they didn't build up the tension of it really. And I feel like because you guys said in the manga the fight didn't really start as early as they have it in the anime. Like it started I think after Sato's fight that we actually got to Rukia's. So like if it had all happened in like a couple of episodes back to back instead, then I feel like it would have felt like more impactful. But the fact that like we had to see like the same couple of scenes a few times and it was kind of left on its own and we like just left it and we and did other stuff and then we came back, it felt a little bit less like they were built like that there wasn't much tension to it. Especially since the flashback in itself was a little bit more comedic, a little more lighthearted, a little bit more like heartfelt. So it just didn't feel it didn't have that suspense to it. Yeah, I felt like it was dragged out a little bit too, but I mean also if they're still trying to like buy time so they don't catch up with the manga, then I guess it sort of makes sense, but I assume that's mostly why they changed the how that story was set up was because they're trying to buy time a little bit. But I just think it would have been cool to kind of have like brief flashbacks and then come back to the fighting a little bit more and had a little bit more back and forth between the two of them in the fight. But it is what it is. I'm assuming we're moving on to Renji's fight, which I don't feel good about either because he tried to use his Bankai and uh just sort of got like swept aside like it was nothing. So definitely worrisome about that. It looks like also we saw some clips of the other Spada that I haven't met yet. So I hope that we get some time to kind of see who they are, see their personalities a little bit, see if they're gonna get involved in what's happening. It's it's definitely something to look forward to. If also worrisome because, I feel like they're going to be the top numbers, right? Because we still have to deal with Yami again. So Yami's 10. We had Aden Eru, who is defeated now, who was 9. Then we had uh 8, who's the one that Orenji is up against. Um, and then we know 6 is Grimjo. So we don't know 7, and then we don't know 5 and up. I mean, we've met some of the other ones, but we don't know what number they are, so it'll be interesting now that we're kind of dealing with the lower numbers because they've already fought Yami, and so it'll be interesting. Which character do I hate in Bleach and why? Uh, I always say Jinta. I think he's the only character that I legitimately don't like. Because even if like it's a villain, you can kind of love to hate a villain. Like they're supposed to be evil. They're supposed to be awful people. But Jinta's just like a bully. And technically on the good guy's side. So I'm sure he gets some character development later on, but as of right now, he's probably my least favorite. I was gonna say maybe Mayuri too, but I don't think I hate Miyori. I think he's a wonderfully written character for what he is. Like, he's very good at being unnerving and creepy, which, like, maybe I don't enjoy personally, but there's something to be said about like the purity of how like unsettling he is. Anyway, let's watch episode 161 in 3, 2, 1, go. Cause looks like we're gonna see what Renji's up to and how he's gonna deal with that. Yeah, can't hate villains. Yeah, see, I don't feel like I usually hate villains. At least not like pure villains. Like people who are like so evil that they like commit to it. I feel like the only time I hate characters is when they're somewhere in that like in between, like where they're like supposed to be like good characters, but they just like they're bad people. And I'm like, I don't know. At least when they're like they're villains, like they're supposed to be evil, they're supposed to be making bad decisions or like decisions that um have like outcomes and stuff like that, that like at least it's to character. The one bread, especially considering Aizen is apparently my dad. You know what the funny thing is though? With the glasses on, there are some characteristics about Aizen that are like my dad. At least like in appearance, not personality per se. What if Sado became a villain? Would I hate him? I don't think I could. I don't think I could hate him as a villain. But I also feel like there would be like, if he's like purely a villain, then I don't think I could hate him anyway. Like I don't think I ever hate villains really. I feel like if it was like he was still supposed to be like a good guy, like a friend to Ichigo and the others, but he just started to be like a terrible human being, like he was just like an awful person to be around, I think then I would hate him. He'd have to have like a complete personality shift for me to like actually not like him. You guys. Yeah, Ramiro, I don't think Geen is even I don't think I hate him either. I don't trust him, but I wouldn't say I hate him. I think I don't understand Geen. I don't know what motivates him. So I don't know how I feel about him. I know, I don't usually hate characters, so I guess that's also part of it. Yes, I remember this guy. He seems to be like enjoying the idea of beating up Denji a little bit too much. We like the confidence, but you gotta follow it up with action. Pink-haired scientist has some attitude. He does. And like a little bit of sass, which like I don't want to enjoy about his character. I don't want to like anything about one of the Espada. And yet, because in true Bleach fashion, there's never just villains. There's always extra layers to why people do the things that they do. I remember that. I hope we have a plan B. Or plan. I don't know where we're at this point. Do I hate Teeth Espada for slicing Sado? I mean, a little bit. It's a good point. And he was talking about being like the strongest one of them, and I'm like, I don't think you are. I don't think we've met the strongest Espada yet. Wait, well, we don't need to go throwing around insults. Research? Older brother. Oh. I forgot. I forgot that that character was at least somewhat important. Oh, we're happy that he killed off your brother. Adachi is definitely gonna want to beat you up if you're like, I don't care about the life of my family. Yeah, because as someone who like didn't have family and then had like his like adopted family with his like friends on the street and then like losing them, he's gonna be pissed that you're like throwing away family like that. Well, that pose is a little melodramatic. Don't like the crazy eyes. Oh, the other sensed it? The other espada? Why? Oh, mood though. Let's just go back to sleep. It's definitely gonna make the espada, I think, want to get more involved. Because if nothing else, it means that there's someone strong enough to kill the espada, which I'm sure they have to be interested in some way. I do love Renji Sabakto. Like, look at that. That's so cool. Unless he's playing with you. I'm just saying. It feels like he's playing up to it. See? Yeah. Ugh. No. I mean, I realized it. I don't know if Renji would. No offense to him, but he gets a little caught up in fights a little bit. Um, What are those? I'm assuming hollow of some kind. The smile makes me uncomfortable. Oh no. Yeah, like that's gonna get under her skin. You need to focus though. You can't let your emotions get the best of you. Oh dang! Got him a little bit with that one. Did you sense it? Now he's gonna have to feel like he has to choose, right? Like he has to choose between Sado and Rukia. Oh no. Oh hello. I was not expecting Ulquiorra to show up this soon. Mm-hmm. Cachet. Yeah, I agree. A PV, I was like, I just assumed that we would get some more like some other, one of the other Espada, but instead we went directly to like the Espada. Like the one, like I was talking about at the beginning of this video, is like the one that we've been hyping up since we first met the Arrancar. Like he's the guy that we have to fight, right? After he dramatically walks down the stairs, obviously. Hagusha. No, not late at all. Perfectly on time. I mean, on time for the real stuff to start happening. No more small fries. Yeah, this one's gonna be a little personal, isn't it? I don't believe you. She wouldn't. She said she remembered that she can't die on her own. Plus, Ukeoda also said that Sato was dead, and I refuse to accept that. Aw, Orihime. Yeah, he's not gonna let that happen. Good boy, don't believe him. I guess that's technically true. He hasn't actually hurt anyone. Oh no. Does Aizen like teach the Espada how to like push people's buttons so that they are really intense about the fight? Because that seems to be everyone's go-to. Oh dang. Oh no, he's smirking. It's about to get real. Oh dang. The episode's gonna end before we get to see it though, isn't it? Yeah. I was like, we're not gonna get to see it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited though. I was literally just talking about, I was like, that's like the big one. I'm like, we have to see Ichigo fight Ulquiorra. And then that's like the most hype fight. Like that's the fight that they've been setting up since like the very beginning of the Arrancar arc. And I'm like, yeah, but we probably won't see it until like the end. Like it'll be like episode like 166 or something. And then Bleach was like, let's just skip to that. Like that's the one everyone wants. That's the fight. So let's just do it. I'm so excited for the next episode now. Worried about how they're gonna heal people though. And also like it seems like the Espada are like a little bit more interested because it's like maybe not necessarily in the way of they're like, oh, one of our own got killed. And like I don't think they'll take that personally, unlike a Soul Reaper would. But I feel like they're like interested in like, oh, there's like these people are strong enough that they could kill an Espada. So that's like where the interest is gonna be. Preview. Yeah, it looks like Renji's gonna do something Interesting. I'm so excited. Are we taking pictures? I love that Byakuya is like unfazed. Oh. Aw. They tried though. My guess on what Ulquiorra's rank is? I think I've said before. I think I said back when. Back when we kind of got introduced to the idea of Espada. I said 3. I don't know if I think that now. Partly because we haven't met like the other like all of the Espada yet. So I feel like we won't see the first like the top 3 until later. Because we've got all these other Espada that we haven't met yet. And then also if we're fighting Ulquiorra now, then I'm assuming he's not that high of a rank. Because we're probably saving the really strong ones for later. So I mean, he has to be higher than Grimjo because we've seen Grimjo like take orders from him and like back down from like antagonizing him. So I don't know. I don't know what rank he is. I think he's top 5. I don't know. I'm not sure where he falls within that though. Yeah, Rainy Ichigo got so mad he dropped Nell. He spoke so softly to her though. He always has such a like reassuring way when he's like talking to her about like her to stay out of things, but then he's got like that intense like I'm about to beat you up look at whoever he's fighting. Yeah. I mean, we also talked about how like I thought that the ranking with the Espada wasn't going to be cut and dry because the ranking in the Soul Society isn't cut and dry, like even within squads. We know that it's like not consistent and it's kind of it depends on like a few different things about like where someone lands. So I don't even know if guessing the top five's rank would mean anything. Yeah, like I don't know if the top five there'll be any like how they would differentiate certain things about the ranking and like and the other thing too is like they have it where it's like if a stronger Arrancar is made, then they like someone gets kicked out of the top 10 and someone else comes in. But like does that like how do they like rearrange all of the numbers? Like if someone's like number 1 and then someone like and then an Arrancar gets made that's stronger, does everybody get like bumped down or do they just like take out the number 1 spot and put in the new one, or does like that number like the number 1 Espada get switched to a different number? Like what do you switch a numbers even after you've received one, or do you stay with your number? In which case it might not necessarily be that you are stronger or weaker depending on your number. I don't know if I explained that well, but I don't understand exactly how they would choose who gets what number and what the ranking is. So Who do I think is stronger, Grumjo or Teeth Espada? Um, I don't know because like Teeth said that they were the strongest, but I don't think they are. We still haven't met the seventh Espada, which so there is someone who we still haven't met. Haven't like we don't know they're the seventh Arrancar yet, uh, Espada yet, who would be like ranked lower than Grimjo, but also like that doesn't necessarily mean that they're weaker. So I feel like maybe Teeth Espada is stronger than Grimjo, but also we haven't seen Grimjo go all out yet. Like Grimjo hasn't used any of his releases yet. Like he was almost going to, but then Tosen showed up and told him to go home. So we haven't seen Grimjo like full out fight yet. He's just kind of been playing around when we've seen him fight up to this point. So I don't think I have a good gauge of like either of their powers, especially since we haven't seen Teeth Espada fight properly either. Yeah, see that's what I'm saying. APV is like we had Loopy. Loopy was automatically sixth, which was Grimjo's because Grimjo got like kicked out. Um, but like, is that because Loopy was like actually like that's where their power level would have been, or was that just because Grimjo got kicked out, so that was the opening spot? I know that Aizen's the one that chooses like their ranking and can change it, but like, does he bother to rearrange the whole thing, or does he just like let people have their number? Yeah, like that's a lot of tattoo. Like you'd have to redo all of the numbers if you like shifted someone in the top like three. Seems like a lot of work. Like I feel like you would just like it would just be like one goes out and one goes in. Like you one person loses their rank and then a new person gets their rank as opposed to like rearranging the whole thing. So I don't know how much like the numbers really matter. Like I assume like the top 3 are like the three strongest. Whether or not that necessarily is like cut and drive like which one is actually the strongest, I don't know. I mean, we all know Aizen is the strongest at the end of the day anyway. Like he's the final boss. So I guess everything before that is like practice. Oh gosh, yeah, my theory is that Aizen gave Loopy Grimjo's spot just for spite. I mean, maybe. It seems like Loopy was kind of dragon fodder because I feel like Aizen already knew that he was gonna get Orihime and that he was gonna use that power, like test out that power to heal Grimjo, and that Grimjo was gonna like then kill Loopy and get his spot back. So I feel like Aizen was just sort of putting Loopy there as like a placeholder as like a warning to Grimjo to like know his place. The real reason Aizen wanted Orihime was to make the job of the tattoos easier. I mean, maybe. Yeah, that's part of it. That's a good point, SSS, that they like didn't make Grimjo like they didn't give him the 3 digits and like banish him out. They just took away his tattoo and like left him. You did miss you did miss the episodes. Uh aka Sanin. I was like my brain like forgot how to pronounce that word. Sanin, yes, you missed the episodes. You can watch the replay though. Yeah, I think Aizen was just trying to teach Grimjo a lesson, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. We're getting into the top five, but where's Grimjo at? What's he doing? We haven't seen him in a while. Is he just like not picking a fight? That sounds very unlike him. I'm so excited for episode 162. I'm like kind of sad that we're not gonna watch it today. That I have to do things like work and like remember to eat and stuff. Like ridiculous. Why can't I just spend all day watching anime? I feel like I'm just gonna want to binge the next episodes because we're so close to kind of like the end of this arc. And because there's filler, I feel like something more epic has to happen at the end of this than in like the previous like arc that was just kind of like set up for this part. Do I think Aizen tested Nell's healing drool? I am still so curious about like what Aizen knows about Nell because I'm assuming he knows of her. But like I don't really know, like Nell is such a mystery to me because it doesn't make nothing about her situation makes sense to me. I'm like, why isn't she in Las Noches? Why is she like she looks so humanoid and yet she isn't like with the main Arrancar? She was kind of discarded. She seems to have some cool like abilities and yet she's not part of the Arrancar. I assume like Aizen knows of her in some capacity and yet she was just like out in the desert. Like it doesn't make any sense. There's so many things about Nell. So I assume Aizen knows of her. I don't know if he's like he fully has I don't know, tested her abilities. What's the schedule for reactions? Bleach is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Um so that's when I usually do Bleach. If you want like more detail about that, um I posted a schedule on the Discord so you guys can like it's in the announcements where there's like an actual calendar for September so you can know like the specific episodes on which days and stuff. But Bleach is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Which reminds me that I don't know what movie we're going to be watching this weekend because every time I check it's tied. Binge time hype. I wish I had enough time in my life that I could just like go live and do a bunch of Bleach episodes with you guys and it would just be like I still do it in like 2 episodes so it would be easy for people to like rewatch it later, but um it would just be like me enjoying going through all of it. But I don't have the time. Do I think Ichigo can beat Ulquiorra? I don't know because we haven't seen Ulquiorra fight yet. We've seen him like briefly sort of use his power, so I don't really know what he's capable of. And so like I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to kind of see what the fighting style is like. I feel like he's far more cool and calculating than Ichigo, though. I feel like Ichigo very much fights from an emotional place, and I feel like that might be to his detriment in this instance. Grimjo's probably practicing his evil laugh. Maybe. I mean, he's got to get those like blue winged eyeliner just right, you know? Maybe he's just getting ready and it's taking a little bit. If it's a Friday or down for binge, I can't. I work on Fridays. I wish. Like I literally like I'm gonna have to leave in like 4 minutes because I have to like eat lunch and then I have to get work done. And I would do it on like a weekend, but I've got like personal life stuff. Like I have stuff going on in my life that I can't just sit down and binge stuff and it's kind of sad. But uh maybe Nella's failed experiment. I mean maybe, but like failed in what kind of way? I'd have to find out. Join the Discord, we have memes. It's true. Maybe Aizen kicked her out because Pesce was too annoying. I mean, maybe. Maybe he got tired of Pesce calling him Geen. I mean, that would also happen. Yeah, we did see Grimjo like totally annihilate Ichigo without using his release, like any of his release form, and he's not as strong as Ulquiorra, I don't think. Yeah, no, he wouldn't be because Ulquiorra, like I said before, was able to like outranked him in the way that they were like kind of talking when it was like all of them in the room. Like Grimjo had to like back down a little bit because Ulquiorra kind of like said back off. So I don't know. I mean, Ichigo's stronger now, but he can't keep his like hollow form for long enough. Like he can only briefly pop into it and then out. Um, we still need to figure out the movie because at the moment it's tied between Spirit Away and Perfect Blue. Wait, hold on. Let's do this in a normal game of chance kind of way and flip a coin. That way no one can say I picked favorites about like which movie it was gonna be. So, I don't know. Heads Spirited Away, Tails Perfect Blue. Heads. We'll watch Spirited Away on Sunday. We'll watch we'll watch Perfect Blue next time. Then, next movie, watch day. So if you want to watch Spirited Away with me, that'll be live on here on Sunday. And then we'll watch Perfect Blue next time we do a movie since they tied. Yeah, I'm like I have like life stuff, I got work stuff. I work for myself too because I'm a freelancer, so I can't really just decide to take days off because I don't really know how much work I'm gonna have until I wake up in the morning and check. So I can't be like, okay, this day we'll be able to binge because I don't have anything planned because I might wake up and have like some big order for something. I mentioned I worked as a teacher. Am I in my late 20s? No, I am 23. I worked as a teacher while I was going to university. So I went to classes in the morning and then I taught classes in the afternoon and evenings. I was a visual arts teacher. So I guess I taught um like English, like literacy as a teenager too. But I didn't have enough money to go to university without working at the same time. So I like half and halved it, which is boggles my mind now because I get tired from just normal stuff in my life now and I'm like, how did I function for like 18 hours doing classes and homework and going to work and stuff and having a personal life? It doesn't make any sense to me now. I don't know how I did it. By the way, Brad, I'm gonna have to leave soon too. Who is best boy, Grimjo or Ulquiorra? I mean, I talked about this last time. Those Grimjo and Ulquiorra are like probably my favorite Espada like designs, but I think I like Ulquiorra more. I think I like Ulquiorra more too as just like personality wise. I don't know. I kind of get the like logical, analytical kind of vibe a little bit more than the like relishing in carnage that is Grimjo. What kind of freelance work do I do? Mostly at the moment I do writing. For a while I was doing art, so I did a lot of product design, so I designed graphics for like t-shirts and stuff like that. And then now I do writing mostly because I have a I don't know a connection with a like writing agency. I was busy. Okiota's dead inside. I mean, maybe that's also why I like him. He's a little emo, so maybe that's why I like him. I mean, my favorite character in Naruto is Gaara, so I always kind of am drawn to the more emo character, I guess. Thank you, Hagosha. It's something. I haven't quite perfected my system of freelance work yet, but I'd prefer to not have to put in as much energy just to like get jobs, but it is what it is. I definitely have to put in less now than like a year ago when I started. So, okay, I'm gonna have to go. So I will see you guys I mean Sunday if you want to watch Spirited Away with me. I'm very excited. I haven't seen Spirited Away, and you guys know from my Totoro that I'm a huge like Ghibli fan. So I think it'll just feel cozy like most movies do. I don't really know like totally what it's about, so I'm excited about that. And then I will see you Monday for I guess Ichigo versus Ulquiorra, which is exciting in and of itself. And again, if you guys want to know all of the schedules of like what episodes are gonna be up what days, there is a calendar over on Discord. Link in the description. If you want to come and check it out, join. There are some cute animal pictures. There are memes. There is a collection that Oscar is putting together of me making awful faces that make me laugh and I love them. It's a good time. Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys. Bye bye. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely more intense than I was expecting, at least at the end. I'm so excited for episode 162. But bye bye. See you guys soon.